So today in this video, I'm going to talk about the lessons I learned after scaling my offer business to over $1 million a month. There are very few people in the industry, in the publishing industry, in the coaching consulting that can say that they have scaled their offer to 1 million a month. And I have done it, and I can tell you my experience, and I can tell you the good and bad and the lessons learned. This video is about the lessons I learned of me, like not knowing about the offer business and getting to the offer business, right? And then after getting to that million a month, what are the lessons I learned? What are the things that I could have done differently? What are the things that tripped me, right? And what are the things that I should have seen coming? Okay. So this is Vishal. I've done over 20 million in revenue for myself. And I can tell you most of that was from scaling the offers, right? And I say it was because I sold my offer company for a high 7-figure exit, and it was great and I don't regret it. Okay. So let's dive right into it. So the first lesson that I have was sustaining the offer at that level was harder than I thought, right? It was when you're at million a month, right? And you have an offer business, right? Then it's a little volatile, okay? Because your traffic comes from paid ads mostly, right? So you're running ads to a VSL, or you're running ads to a webinar, or you're running ads to a low ticket offer, whatever you might be doing. When you start getting to a million a month, you realize that you're at the level that a lot of people know you. And also it becomes a little volatile, right? Even if you just have a bad day, right? It changes a lot. Like you can have a 100,000 day, or you can only have a $10,000 day. That's the revenue I'm talking about. When it changes so much, it becomes so volatile that you're not sure, like, is the next month going to be $1 million a month, or is the next month going to be 1.5 million a month, right? It just changes a lot. The other thing is your ad account, right? Your ad account can have a good day, your ad account can have a bad day, right? When you're at that level, even a small mistake in an ad account seems like drastic change in your number. So it was very volatile. It may just have been me and the way I have been doing it, because I only had one offer. That was the mistake. I wish I had multiple offers. I wish I had a multiple front end, right? So we had a front end that was for $497, right? I wish I had another product for $497 or $297, another product for $27, right? If I had multiple products in the front end, leading people to the back end, my offer would have been more stable. But because I only had one front end, I was relying on that front end to bring the purchases. And of course, there'll be some bad days, right? And that is what made it volatile. It was scary because I couldn't figure out the next front end. I launched multiple front end offers and nothing else would work. This one front end was doing really well, scaling, and got us to $1 million a month. So if you are aiming for $1 million a month or beyond, right, you need to make sure you're not relying on just one offer. You're relying on multiple offers, because if you rely on one offer, again, that offer can have good days and bad days, and that can get you in trouble. Not having a face, okay? So a lot of you watching this video may even have a face, right? You may be the guy behind that offer. So you're teaching how to get a date, or you're teaching how to be happy in your relationship. You're teaching how to be spiritually happy, right? You're teaching personal development or how to be healthy. Like whatever you're teaching, you may be the face. Okay, that's great for you. But because I was in a faceless publishing, which means that I was not the face and there was no face. It was a branded offer. It was difficult to explain because we had a brand, a company name, like Netflix or Amazon. There's a company name, right? But there is no face. There is no Jesus, right? There is no Reed Hastings. There is no face of that brand. Especially at an offer business where you are doing coaching, where you're doing consulting, having a face is very, very important, right? But for us, we were able to figure out faceless. So everything we did was faceless. There was no guru, just a brand. It was just about the name of the company, right? So that was good. That got us to like 500K, 800K a month. But as I got to $1 million a month, we noticed it could have been much better. It could have been much better because I know that students would have been more happy if they were working with a guru, right? If they were working with a creator, they know that they're working with that person and that person is reliable and they could look up to someone, right? But because we didn't have any face complaining, people don't relate with the brand. They relate with the person, right? So I think we could have done much better job in terms of making a face. I had a plan for someone to be the face of the company, but that was risky because if that person leaves, then I'm in trouble. What I did was I made the coaches the face, and I had coaches make the video. So that helped a little bit, but it was not enough, right? It is not enough. Let's say there is same offer, right? You have same offer, one with just a company name and the other with the company name and the guru. If it's the same offer, the one with the guru is going to do so much better. Okay, that's just the fact. And that's what happened because there was another offer in the niche that I was at The other guy was the guru and he was doing way more volume, probably 4 or 5 million a month. Okay. I could have done it. We had a lot of problems. The problem one, we only had one offer. Two was no face. We had issues, complaints, refunds. It could have been better if that was face. Okay. So that is something that I realized that if you're starting, you can get to 100K a month, you can get to 200K, even 500K a month without the face. But if you want to get to a million a month or beyond, you do need a face to have a stable offer business. So the next thing that I realized was I need a C-suite. Once I got to a million a month, I realized that I need to make my business professional. Okay. Which means I needed a C-suite. I needed a CMO, someone to handle the marketing side of things. I needed COO, someone to take care of the whole operations, right? I needed to be the CEO of the business, right? I needed someone in HR, like hire the people, right? We were going through some people, but we had some bad people and I just did not have time to fire them and hire a good one because I was busy in the business doing different things. I was in marketing, I was in operations, I was doing different things. I needed to professionalize the business. And what I realized is that when I got to a million a month, I needed them there. So I should have started when we were at 500K and growing, right? I should have had those people in place before I planned on getting to a million a month and beyond. So that was the mistake I made because when it got to a million a month, that was just a lot of things happening and we kind of broke down, to be honest. We also had one of our worst month in terms of profitability. That also happened on the same month where we hit million a month. So I needed a few things before I got here. So we pulled back so that we could do different things in the business. You need CEO, CFO, CMO, COO. You don't need board members. You need C-suite in place because if you're going to go beyond a million a month, you need those people. You need people taking care of each operations of your business, each department of your business. Then from there, I believe it would have been much more easier to get to 2 to 3 million until 5 to 10 million a month. That's when, maybe I would have to do something else. So that was the thing that I realized once I got 2 million a month is that I needed to have a professional business. The other thing in professional is that I needed employees with bonuses, proper goals for them. I needed to give them a paid vacation. I needed to have a dental or health insurance. People expected those things at that level, right? Because we were now becoming a big business. We're no longer a 100K a month small business making a couple million a year, right? We're doing 8 figures at that point. So we needed to be professional at that point if we wanted to grow beyond 8 figure to maybe high 8 figures to even 9 figures. The other thing that happened was a lot of complaints. And this is not normal for many business. This is just for the industry that I was in. Now, the industry that I was in BizOp, which is business opportunity, which is make money. We were in real estate teaching people how to be in real estate, how to make money with real estate. It was like that offer, not the exact offer, but like that. When you teach people how to make money, it's not guaranteed. It depends on them to do the work. You are the one telling them how to do things, what to do, but it depends on them. That's the key. It depends on them to do it, right? People are excited. They're like, I want to buy real estate. I want to trade. I want to be healthy, right? They get excited. They join the program. They pay $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 to learn the information. And after 2 months, when they realize they have to do the work, that's when the refund and the chargebacks start coming in. That's when they're like, oh, these coaches did not do the thing. Oh, you promised me this. You promised me that I only had to work 2 hours per day, right? That's when they're going to start complaining. And what happened at million a month was a lot of these complaints. Like someday we would have $20,000, $30,000 of refund, right? And that was scary because, if that would have continued, that could have been quite devastating to a business. If you're playing at a million a month, you're also going to have 100,000 refund. You're also going to have 20,000 refund. The other thing that we had that may be unique to us is that we also have attorney general. Like people were complaining to the attorney general in their state, right? So we had letters from attorney general, refund this person, otherwise we're going to come at you. So we had those letters. And there was always a fear of FTC, especially in business opportunity. That was always the fear. Once you get to a million a month, you become known in the industry. Okay. If you're spending and you're making million a month in revenue, then you're spending a ton of money and people start noticing you. You have a good product, but coaching business inherently is not a great business in a sense that not everybody gets the result, right? For example, you go to a restaurant, order hamburger, right? What do you get? You get a hamburger, you eat the hamburger and you leave. You go to a car wash, the machine does the cleaning, you come out clean. That's 100% result business. You get what you pay for right away and you leave. The thing with coaching or an offer business is they go through the program, but may not get results because we give information. They have to take action, do the work, right? And because of that, the result ratio is inherently lower unless you do the work for them. They still need to provide different things for you, right? So because of that, you're always going to have complaints and you're always going to have people not happy. And when you're at that level, if you don't have a face, right, and you don't have any professional in your business, then it can be a problem. Okay, so we basically saw a rise in the complaints, a rise in the refund, rise in the chargeback. It's really because we didn't have a professional team, we didn't have a face, right? And that's what it is. So those are the things I realized when I got 2 million a month. There are many things I could have done differently, but it's all done now. I sold my business quickly after that. After our best month, we had somebody reach out to us and I sold it. So I don't regret it. I'm happy and I learned a lot of lessons. I'm using those lessons to build my next business. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, let me know in the comments down below and I will see you on the next video.